Hello and welcome. My name's Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. Today we're going to talk about which hat press might be right for your needs. So I'm going to compare our standard hat press to the Cricut Hat Press to the EasyPress Mini, which I'm also going to use to make some hats today. So I thought I'd make a hat with all three methods, and I'm going to use the same hat and the same HTV design for all three methods, give you the pros and cons of each one so you can make the decision that's right for you, your craft room, or your business. There's nothing wrong with any of these methods of making hats. It just depends on how many hats you're going to be making, what your budget is, and how professional you want to get with those hats that you make. Now, any of these methods can do HTV or sublimation. So I've got 3 HTV designs that I'm going to add to hats. But again, you could do sublimation with any of these 3 as well. Even the EasyPress Mini gets hot enough to do sublimation. You just might have mixed results with something like the EasyPress Mini. So let's start with the Mini. Go ahead and make a hat, and then we'll work our way up. So we'll go to the EasyPress Mini, we'll go to the hat press, and then we'll go to a professional hat press to see what the differences are between all 3. By the end of this video, I hope to share with you which hat press might be right for your needs. So let's get started. With the EasyPress Mini, it's going to be a little bit harder to do hats, but it is not impossible. So I've set mine to the second setting for HTV. The third setting is infusible ink, or you can use it for sublimation. Now with this machine, you might have some trouble with sublimation and getting it to completely transfer, especially for a larger design. So please keep that in mind when you're choosing a design. Then the other thing I recommend with the Mini is a set of pressing hams. So this is a set and it's 2 different sizes. However, they work together pretty well in the hat. I mean, it helps, I guess. So what I'm gonna do is take my hat, remove anything from the inside, flip the bill portion out, and then start adding these hams to the inside. So what you're looking for is to create a smooth surface across the front of the hat. You'll probably want to undo this back here, and I like to actually stick both hams inside of the hat and get that front as smooth as possible. So this is definitely not as easy as with the hat form for the Cricut Hat Press. However, they do not sell, at least at the filming of this video, they don't sell that hat form separately, so you can't purchase it to work with the Mini. So I just have to keep sort of working these 2 in there, getting the hat as tight as possible, buckle it back here in the back, pull it tight, and then check across the front. So it's wrinkled still, so I'll need to adjust some more. So I just keep adjusting it, pressing these in, checking the front. And then once I have a pretty smooth surface on the front, I can start applying my HTV or my sublimation. So to do that, I would probably preheat the surface first. And so that just gets rid of any moisture or anything on the surface. And then we'll add our HTV. Now you can add this to the surface, and as you can see, even though the carrier sheet is sticky, it's not gonna stay down very well. Cricut released this strong grip heat tape when they released the hat press, and I really like it no matter what hat press I'm using. So I'm actually gonna use it for all 3. So I'm gonna locate my design. Then once that design is located on the hat, just add a couple pieces of heat tape just to keep it still while you press. And now comes the not so fun part of using the EasyPress Mini. So you're gonna have to press this, move it, press some more, move it, press some more, until this is completely stuck down. This can take a while with a product like the EasyPress Mini. Can you get it to work? Yes, you can. Will it be frustrating? Yes, possibly. I feel like the pressing hams do help. They give you something to press against, but it still might be frustrating for you getting the material to stick to the hat adequately. But just keep pressing, checking to see if it's stuck, pressing some more, and eventually you probably will have a successful hat. So once you think you have it on there, we can start peeling this carrier sheet back, checking to see if it's really stuck down or not. And that actually looks pretty good. So I have a successful hat. Now I can take out these pressing hams. Take that out, and then I'll just put my hat back, fasten in the back, and we have a hat with HTV with the EasyPress Mini. So now that we've made a hat with the EasyPress Mini, let's take a look at adding the same design with the Cricut Hat Press and how that's different. There are a couple of key differences between the Cricut Hat Press and that EasyPress Mini. The first is the curved heating surface. This will allow you to go around the hat a bit better, a bit easier, and allow you to make hats even faster. Plus, it is significantly larger than the EasyPress Mini. So that means you will be able to press a larger surface area at one time. Then the second difference is it comes with the hat form. This is going to make your life so much easier. So again, we'll just remove anything from the inside of the hat. Then you want to turn the bill itself out, open that hat up, and literally all you do is stick the hat press form inside. It is a ton easier than the hams themselves. This hat press form is very nice and makes making hats super simple. So I'm just going to pull it tight, and then you just want to make sure, again, your hat's smooth across here. If it's not, you can adjust it. And then the same basic process applies. So we are going to preheat, and we'll add our HTV to the hat in the right location. Just like with the EasyPress Mini, I'll add a couple pieces of heat tape to hold that still. Like I said, I use that no matter which hat press I'm using. I really, really like this strong grip heat tape. And now it's just a matter of pressing. So the hat press itself, I have it on the second heat setting, which is fine for HTV, or you can use the Cricut Heat app and set a specific time and temperature, which is another benefit of the hat press. The EasyPress Mini, you can't set an exact temperature and you can't set a timer. With this machine, you can. So it does make applying HTV or even sublimation so much easier. So we're just going to apply this hat press, press the button, move it back and forth slightly while pressing, and once the timer goes off, this one should be ready. So there's less guessing with the Cricut Hat Press, and you don't have to press multiple areas. So as long as you keep your design within the size restrictions, it'll press it all at one time. Once that beeps and it's done pressing, we'll just check, make sure nothing needs repressed. And then depending on your HTV, you might need to let it cool before you remove that carrier sheet. Then we can just peel that back, making sure the HTV is stuck to the surface. And then after we get that off, it's just a matter of removing the hat form from inside the hat. And this hat is ready to go. So there we have another hat, this time with the Cricut Hat Press, which made making this hat a little bit easier than with the EasyPress Mini. So let's take a look at a professional hat press and how that changes things. So this is a WalaPress from Heat Transfer Warehouse, and it is their hat press. I do have this machine heating up. It has a control panel in the front. You set the time and temperature, and you turn it on the side over here next to me. This portion will be where your hat will sit, and as you can see, it does have that curved heat plate that takes into account the shape of the hat. It does have a pressure adjustment, so you can turn this knob up or down to adjust the pressure. So I have my knob set about where I think the pressure is correct. So we use this in basically the same manner. So my hat, I've removed everything from the inside. I'm gonna flip that bill out, and it is heated up to temperature now. And then you can just slide the hat onto this curved surface. So both the bottom surface as well as the top are curved. And then we'll just pull that tight, and you can use this lever here to hold the hat. Then you can do a pre-press if you would like. So hold the hat, make sure it's in the right location, and I just kind of barely touch down just to make sure everything's in the right location, and then I can adjust from there. So once you've used this hat press a few times, you'll get to know kind of the location where it should be. If this is your first time using it, you might have to slightly adjust. And then I'll just locate my design, add some heat tape. One of the things I like about a standalone heat press is that it's super easy to get inside and see exactly where the design is going to sit and add that heat tape. It can be a little tricky on, when your hat's on that hat form, but this holds the hat still so I can see everything that's going on. Then with that hat in location, we're just going to come down, make sure that covers that HTV. So this has a magnet. It's going to hold the pressure for the entire time. As soon as the time is up, that magnet's going to release. Time's up, and it opens up. So it is an auto open press. That magnet holds it shut. As soon as the time is up, the magnet releases and it opens up. So it's very nice if you are making a ton of hats and need something that's quick where you can like go over here and work on something else like packaging your hat. Again, you want to make sure if your HTV is a cool peel that you wait until it cools down. Then just peel that carrier sheet off. And we'll remove this, remove the hat. And we have a gorgeous hat ready to wear, sell, gift, whatever you're going to do with hats. So now let's talk about each of these hat presses and why you might want them. So which of these hat presses is the best? That depends on your needs. If you were to give me all three of these hats, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you which hat press made which of these hats. I feel like they make hats equally as well, whether you're doing HTV or sublimation. So let's talk about each of these and the pros and cons. So if you were to use the EasyPress Mini alone with these pressing hands to make some hats, I would say that you might get a little frustrated with making hats. So it might not always work exactly right. You might have to fuss with the EasyPress Mini to get HTV to stick. And with sublimation, I probably would not recommend the EasyPress Mini for sublimation on hats. I just think you'll be frustrated. You'll have spots that will sublimate well and spots that will not. So I will say HTV on hats, the EasyPress Mini would work with the hams that I talked about. However, may be frustrating at times not being able to get it correct. Now I made baseball caps in all of these instances, but with the hat press, the Cricut Hat Press, I have made a wide variety of other hats. Bucket hats, felt hats, and I put a design all the way around them. I made tons of different hats with the Cricut Hat Press. I would say that some of those would be difficult with the EasyPress Mini because you would have to like play with these hams so much to get them in the right location. The Cricut Hat Press with the curved surface as well as the hat press form makes making hats tons easier. However, it is a lengthy process. So getting your hat on the hat form and moving it back and forth, pressing down, you have to be at the hat press the entire time. Now when it comes to HTV on a hat, that's what, 30 seconds or so probably. However, if you're doing sublimation on a hat, it might be even longer. And then if you want to do different things like layering HTV, you're talking even more time with the Cricut Hat Press. So if you're going to do a lot of hats, the Cricut Hat Press might not be the solution for you. That's where a standalone hat press comes in my opinion, is when you're making tons of hats. As you saw, it was really easy to get the hat in there, to press it down, and then this particular hat press had that auto open feature, so it would be super easy to put your hat in, press it down, go do something else, come back when the hat press opens up and add your next hat to this hat press. Now, this is one example of a hat press. They also make like 8-in-1 machines where there's a heat press. There are accessories where you can change it over to a hat press, and I did have one of those at one time. I will say that changing over one of those to be a hat press is fairly difficult. So if you're going to do it repeatedly and often, you might get frustrated with those changeable heat presses. Now if you're just going to change over to hats every once in a while, that might also be a solution for you. So I'm going to link to all of the hat presses that I have reviewed in this video, as well as the pressing hams and any supplies that I used in the description below this video. Plus I'm going to link to this hat press, plus some like changeable hat presses that are like 7-in-1, 8-in-1, what have you, that also come from Heat Transfer Warehouse that I believe are good presses. If you're looking for something that is a heat press and a hat press combined, I don't think you can go wrong with those. So I'm going to link to everything in the description below this video. If you're on computer, scroll down, click show more. If you're on mobile, click the arrow to expand the description or swipe up on the video depending on how you're watching. Now, all that's left to do is for you to decide which hat press is right for you. If you're ready to get into making hats, will you use your EasyPress Mini, buy the Cricut Hat Press, or go all out and get a professional hat press for your craft room or your studio? Totally up to you. You can't go wrong with any of these options. It just depends on how many hats you're going to make, what your budget is, and just how easy you want that process to be. So hopefully this helps. If it did, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about hat presses, feel free to drop down in the comment section, ask away. And if you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.